Hey y'all, welcome to the Nicola J YouTube channel. My name is Alviana, creator and owner of Nicola J, and today we'll be talking about some tools that elevated my candle making business. If you don't have any of these tools that I mentioned in this video, I suggest you get them, but at the end of the day, it's ultimately your decision. Please do your own research and do what's best for your own business. Okay, with that out the way, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with any aspiring candle makers. The first tool I'm talking about is a scale. I feel like when people think of candle making, they think of wax immediately, and yeah, we need that, but I don't think enough people talk about scales. I feel like a scale is so important to have. I use my scale every time I make candles. I use it to measure out my wax, I use it to measure out my fragrance oil. So I did mention this in my 3 things I wish I knew before I started my candle making business. You can check that out if you haven't already, but candle making is a science, and so once I found that formula that works for me, I'm like, I gotta stick to it. I do that so that my candles are always consistent when it comes to their quality. No guesswork, no eyeballing. It's exact, and that's how I like it. This scale I got from Wood & Wick Co. There are a bunch of scales available anywhere. This is a digital scale. I would say do your research and figure out what works best, because you got online manufacturers and you even got Walmart if you want to make a trip down there. So do what works best for you, and on to the next tool. So the next tool is my trusty dusty Wick Trimmer. I love this thing. Once I got my Wick Trimmer, life became so much easier, and I feel like even if you aren't a candle maker, you should definitely still have this in your arsenal if you're a candle lover. I think the Wick Trimmer is pretty self-explanatory. It trims your wicks. It looks like scissors, and yeah, I just use it to cut my wicks, you know, like that. This one is not wicked up, so you can use a wick trimmer on both cotton and wooden wicks, so it's not limited to one type of wick. This is another accessible tool. I feel like all the tools I'll be mentioning are very accessible, whether you want to get them online or in person. Just gotta do your research and figure out where you want to get it from. I would say the only problem with wick trimmers is depending on the vessel. If you're trying to like get out all the way at the bottom, it's gonna be hard to do that and get the angle right to trim the wick evenly. But other than that, this thing is a blessing. Here's another tool that elevated my candle business, which is a heat-safe spatula. Before, when I didn't have this, the first thing I ever used was a metal spoon to like mix the fragrance oil and the wax together. And that ended up scraping my pouring pitcher, and that was not fun. I ended up using a like wooden like bamboo stirrer. And I didn't like that because I was like, how do you even clean this? And it was tiny. I was just like, no. I ended up using another cheap spatula. That ended up melting on me. Like the handle was melting off, and I was like, okay. So I got back to the drawing board and I ended up finding these. These are heat safe. Like I think up to like 200 something degrees, which is perfect. Completely all the same material. I use it all the time and I haven't ran into any problems. So yeah, I love this thing, and I got it from Amazon, and I got a whole bunch of different sizes of spatulas. And I just keep them over with my candle stuff, and it does the job amazingly. That leads me to another tool, which is my pouring pitcher. I love this thing. This thing is my baby. Lovely women in this one, yeah. Before I was using like a double boiler, and it was a very tiny little metal thing that I put on top of a pot, and the wax melted that way. It did not hold much wax at all. So I knew I needed to upgrade, and now with this one I get to make multiple candles at a time, which is so nice and saves a lot of time. I have seen bigger and I have seen electric ones, because this is another double boiler method, but I love it right now, and eventually I will upgrade, but this is doing the job. On to the last tool, Wick Stickers. I don't know if you can see them very well. Yep, that's good. So basically, to all my people who don't know the lingo, when I would put the wick into the candle, so when I was wicking the candles, I used to use wax. So I'd be making the candle, and then I would dip the wick, clip in the wick into the wax, put it into the candle, and let it sit there until the wax got to room temperature, harden a little bit, solidify, whatever you want to call it. And then I would pour the wax in. When I changed my wax, I kind of realized that the pouring temperature was higher, so I wouldn't be able to do that same thing, because it would just end up, I'd pour the wax in, and then it would melt the other wax, and then the wick would just be floating. So I knew I had to change something, so I ended up getting the Wick Stickers. So basically, these are literally just stickers, and you peel them off, You peel off the backing because it's double-sided. You put the wick on the wick sticker, you put the wick sticker on the vessel, and then it stays. It's not going anywhere. So that has been so useful. That's why I love it. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Oh, I do have an honorable mention for tools. Something that I've come to love, this is very new for me, are wick centering devices. In the beginning of my business, before I had the wick centering tool, what I would do is just have my wick sticker and all that. I would do my best to put in the middle. I would eyeball it. It would take a lot of time because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I would just be trying my best to get in the middle, and then I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's slightly off, so I gotta take it off and then put it back on. And with the wick centering devices, it made my life so much easier. The way you use this one specifically is you fold the little thingy things, I don't know what they call it. So you fold them until they look like this, little upside down tabletop, and then you would get your vessel, put it in there, and then it centers the wick. So yeah, and then you just are able to put your wick in there, and it makes the job a whole lot easier. And so I've really come to enjoy this, and it makes my whole candle making process a bit faster. And I'm always looking for faster because we love efficiency. I ended up seeing another wick centering tool that's even more controlled. Like, you find out the diameter of your vessel, you put it on there, and then you literally just put the wick in there, and that's supposed to be perfectly centered. I do want to try that one of these days, but for now, this definitely has elevated the business a lot. That's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do make candles and wax melts. Peach Perfection is the newest one that I added to the website. It smells like deliciousness. It's peach, it's sexy, it's a little bit floral, it's bitter. It just kind of brings in that spring summer vibe, and I love it so much. So if you're interested, check it out on the website or on my Instagram shop. Follow me on social media, everything Nicola J. And then I just want to say another thank you to the people who have been subscribing to the channel. It means a lot because I wasn't sure if I should start this channel or not, but it's been an amazing way to mix content creation, which I love, and candle making, which I love, and now it's just one thing in this channel. So I appreciate the support. It means a lot. That's about it. I'll see you next week. Bye.